If you know one thing about my reviews, it's that I can't pronounce anybody's name when I am on camera, apparently, for some reason. So you're going to get a lot of that here with Unearthed Films Premutos. Premutos. Premutos? The Fallen Angel. This is directed by a very great splatter gore director by the name of Olaf Ittenbach, who did The Burning Moon, which is, by the way, my favorite movie he's done still after watching this one. This is a 2-disc special edition from, like I said, Unearthed Films. The 2-disc being the, what is that, soundtrack. The CD soundtrack is here. The movie is here in 2 forms. Now, you get it uncut. You get the new version of the film, which is the director's cut, or the extended cut, and it's got some bells and whistles. The director went back, kind of George Lucas-y, and redid the credits and all that stuff. And outside of that, and actually mastering the movie in widescreen, that's probably like the main thing he did. That being the case, when you watch that version, you will see like all the cool stuff there, but the bad side, the new stuff there, and you'll see the gore, and you'll see it really good because it's actually, like I said, remastered. But the downside to that is you have to read subtitles on that one. It's not dubbed. But if you want to go watch the other DVD, the version that was originally released on DVD, that's the original version of the film without the extra added stuff. It's there, but it looks rough because it's like the DVD, VHS, whatever version of it, and it's dubbed though. So that's the bad thing about it. But other than that, the movie itself is it's a trip. It's strange. It's weird. It's super gory, as you would expect. And I'm not 100% sure I understand the plot, so I'm going to attempt to read the plot off the back of the box because I want to make sure I get this right for you people here. I mean, I've already said it's entertaining. It's bloody. That's all you want, right? You want blood and you want gore. Maybe not as ridiculous as The Burning Moon, but there's probably more blood here because there's more of a budget, and there's definitely some weird things that happen in this movie. Premutos is the first of the fallen angels, even before Lucifer. His goal is to rule the living and the dead. His son should pave the way for him to return. A young man begins to suffer from the visionary flashbacks of a past lives he lived. Now, there is a lot of flashbacks here, so you kind of jump around in time frames of like old days, old war days and current days. On his father's birthday, a case containing an old book is found in their garden, which was hidden by Warlock in 1943. When the young man investigates the book, he mutates into a monster and awakens an army of zombies ready to bring back the fallen angel, Premutos. So, yes, all that happens. It certainly does. And the end of the movie, like, yes, there's blood, flashbacks, and there's always like a lot of blood and gore. Like, basically, that's the only point of these movies that this guy makes is the gore. And there's plenty of that, like in the beginning of it, when they're kind of like trying to figure out the guy who's reading from the book, bringing people back, that causes a whole bunch of gore. And then there's gore in between, and the dude who sees his past lives sees basically how he dies every time. And then at the end of it, it just becomes like your standard zombie flick, very Dead Alive-ish. Like, I feel like it was borrowing heavily off Dead Alive at the end of it. And that's when, like, it's probably at its best. And that's when his dad here gets the chainsaw out and all that cool stuff. So, yeah. Probably, like, if I had a complaint, and you may have thought this was a good thing, is it kind of doesn't really end up like you think it's going to end up with. Like, some of the characters you think might be more important than they are end up not being as important as you might think they would be. Plenty of blood, plenty of gore, but sometimes it seems like people might just be getting killed because either they couldn't show up on the set anymore and he had to get rid of them, or two, it's just he thought he was being clever by getting rid of people when he probably shouldn't have. But if you came here to throw logic out the window and just see blood for the sake of blood, then you definitely going to get what you want with Premutos. Premutos, original version with English dub and original German language. The making of Premutos, Olaf Ittenbach. The early years. Photo gallery trailer, original motion picture soundtrack. So there you are. Unearthed Films. I do have no reason by this guy. I just haven't got to watch it yet. And I definitely want to watch it because I hear it may be even, I think, maybe more bloodier than this one is. Burning Moon, though, still, for my money, it's shot on video, but for my money, it's still the best one this guy's ever done. But this thing here, 3 out of 5. If you want gore and blood, that's what you get. And you get cool visuals, obviously, here, even on the case. But it just seems a little lacking for me. I think sometimes you kind of just need to wheel that wild story in a little bit and just have more blood. And I think definitely this thing is a little bit too outrageous for its own good at times. when really it should just be focusing on the blood. But when you do get the blood and the gore, it's obviously great. And if you love that stuff, and if you do, that's probably why you're here, definitely watch this movie.